This is a breaking story. Hat tip to drudgereport.com. You're not going to believe this. Associated Press. Confronting misgivings even in his own party. President Barack Obama mounted a stout defense of his blueprint to overhaul the economy today, declaring the national crisis is, quote, not as bad as we think, unquote, and his plans will speed recovery. Is this the same guy who just a few weeks ago with that ridiculous stimulus plan or whatever the hell it is was saying that we're in a dire situation, we're facing like a catastrophe, nothing is as terrible as almost as the Great Depression? On and on, day in and day out, where even the pervert, B.J. Bill Clinton, spoke up and said, hey, Barack, you gotta, cool it a little. Talk up the economy a touch or two, will you? You're killing the stock market. And he's pounding, and it's Bush's fault, and, and now it's, the economy's not as bad as we think. Challenge to provide encouragement as the nation's confidence builder and cheap. Obama said Americans shouldn't be whipsawed by bursts of either bad or good news, and he was highly optimistic about the long term. His proposals for major health care, energy, and education changes in the midst of economic hard times face skepticism from both Democrats and Republicans on Capitol Hill, as senators question his budget outlook and the deficit it envisions in the middle of the next decade. But Obama, speaking to top executives of the Business Roundtable, expressed an optimistic vision, and he called for patience. Richard Parsons, chairman of beleaguered Citigroup, asked Obama if he could offer some help in a national battle between confidence and fear. A smidgen of good news and suddenly everything is doing great. This is a quote from Obama. Little bit of bad news and ooh, we're down in the dumps. And I'm obviously an object of this constantly varying assessment. I'm the object in chief of this varying. Hey, genius. Are you schizophrenic? Politically, that is. You've been attacking this economy since the day you decided to run for public office. And you attacked it all through the Democrat primary. You attacked it when you ran for president. You've attacked it as president. You keep comparing it to the Great Depression. You keep saying it's the worst economy since the Great Depression. You used the word catastrophe. You talked about dire situation. And now, all of a sudden, it's not as bad as we think. But if you think it's real bad, it's Bush's fault. Obama's budget plans were meeting resistance in Congress. Senator Kent Conrad, North Dakota Democrat, chairman of the Budget Committee, called the track of future deficits unsustainable and singled out Obama's proposal for adding $634 billion in health care spending over the next 10 years. Folks, I don't care if you're a Democrat, a Republican, an independent. I don't care what you are. We can't do this. He said some of us have real pause about the notion of putting substantially more money into the healthcare system when the system's already bloated, meaning the spending system. Treasury Secretary Timothy Geithner. Who cares what he said? Crook. He should be talking through a window in prison on one of those phones. Anyway, that is a breaking story. Now, talk about whipsaw, Obama. You're whipsawing all of us. Well, it's not as bad as we think. Well, you know what? For some people, it's worse than we think. This assault on free enterprise, this assault on innovation and creativity and wealth creation, this assault is having an impact. I don't know of any president who has ever treated the American people with such disrespect. Mark, what do you mean? Ladies and gentlemen, you are the free market. You are the free enterprise system. You are capitalism. These aren't distant theories. That's what you do every day. It's you he's attacking. He wants to take your wealth. He wants to limit your mobility. He wants to limit what doctors you can see. These aren't academic debates. They affect real lives. You have a target on your back. He's aiming at you. And the sooner you figure that out, the sooner you will reject all this.